we welcome you to another edition of Mid-Season Mick. Of course, the last of the month of January, but yeah, let's get into it right now with tonight's show. Of course, we got a lot of work ahead. Of course, we had college basketball recap last week's games. Let's also recap the conference championship games. Let's start with the college basketball games over the weekend. Of course, some of the games I picked got moved after my show. Last week's show, it was after last week's show. We did that snowstorm we had, but they all play, but they move at different times though and all that. So yeah, let's start off with Nebraska and Minnesota. I mean, Nebraska was undefeated at the time. They were trailing at halftime, but then they dominated the second half. Won by like almost 20 points. I mean, they remained undefeated at the time, but they lost to Michigan last night. But they did beat Minnesota to remain undefeated, so I got that pick right. But still, they lost to a very good Michigan team. We knew that was going to be a tough matchup for them. Nebraska's a great team. Don't get me wrong, but just Michigan just a little more elite, just more deeper team, I mean, there's a dominant team. There's no doubt they're one of the best in college basketball for sure. So they won that one. Duke beating Wake Forest 90-69. So I mean, it looked a little scared for Wake Forest, looking good early in the first half, but Duke pretty much dominated from like late in the first half. Pretty much the whole second half controlled the tempo. Cam Boozer had another performance, so they won 96 over Wake Forest there. Then you had 3 2:00 games. It was supposed to be like different times, but yeah, Arizona had no problem with West Virginia. They just took care of business, dominated that win there. So they won that one. No problem in that one. It was not even close. Well, Arizona dominated that one. Virginia Tech, got spanked by Louisville. Louisville got a huge win there. And that game was not even close. I mean, at times Virginia Tech I thought was going to rally, but Louisville is just too much for Virginia Tech to handle. So that was your final on that one. But boy, the Houston Texas Tech game lived up to the hype. No doubt about it. And Texas Tech actually won that one, surprisingly. I thought at times Houston was going to win, but Texas Tech on home court, difference maker there. And of course, Tennessee beat Alabama somehow. I mean, they got the win in Tuscaloosa, so I got the pick right. So I went 4-2 in my college basketball pick. The only 2 losses was the Houston Texas Tech game and the Virginia Tech Louisville game. That was the only 2 I got wrong. So yeah, those were your picks there. So yeah, now let's recap all the conference championship games over the weekend. Starting with the AFC championship game, it was low scoring for a while, but then it was low scoring the whole entire time. Actually, let's face it. Patriots won 10-7, but it was a blizzard. But it was closer than expected. That game was, of course, Patriots won 10-7. So Patriots are in the Super Bowl once again, first time since the 2018-19 season. That was Brady's last Lombardi with the Patriots, because he won a Super Bowl a couple years later with the Buccaneers. But yeah, it's the first time since the dynasty Patriots. But this was a second-year quarterback. This is like a 6-year rebuild or something, and then the Patriots, back in the Super Bowl again. And of course, the Seahawks-Rams game lived up, so it was back and forth. I mean, Rams had a lead at one point at time. I mean, especially when Woolen made that penalty, I thought, oh, God, that's going to cost the Seahawks the game. I thought for sure it was. Darnold gets a huge drive, and then it's pretty much a game-winning drive, and then the Seattle defense stops the Rams one more time. So the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl too. So Sam Darnold, what a comeback story for him. After all he's been through, from first 3 years in hell with the New York Jets, like a bad team like the Jets. He had a decent year at the Panthers, but then, was a backup for the Niners, and now, I mean, of course, rejuvenated his career last year with the Vikings, but now in a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. How you doing, Linda? Thanks for tuning in. So what a game it was between the Seahawks and Rams. It's just tough for the Rams. I mean, I went 1-1 in my conference championship picks. I went 4-2 my college basketball days. Oh yeah, your Super Bowl matchups will be the Seahawks and the Patriots, just like the Super Bowl 49. 11 years later, it's crazy. We're gonna see another one like this, but this time a little bit different. I feel like it's been another great Super Bowl match between those two. There's no doubt. All right, so yeah. I think the takeaways. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in there. Toe Wicked Gaming. Yeah. I mean, who would have thought that the Super Bowl happened to be Drake? Just can't believe it. Diggs in a Super Bowl. I mean, all these years, it just sucks being a Bills fan. I tell you that. Just frustrating now, realizing the Patriots are back in another Super Bowl. Thank you. No, thank you for that. It's my favorite college basketball team, and of course they're from my area. Still, yeah, it's just crazy. I just can't get over how this Super Bowl is going to be. Who would have thought Sam Darnold would be in a Super Bowl before Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, like those rookies? That draft class, first out of the 2018 draft class to make a Super Bowl. Darnold, that was not on anyone's bingo card. But congrats to him. NFC champs, Seattle Seahawks, being the Patriots. What a journey they've had. But then again, they had the easy schedule, but still, I just could not believe they were in the Super Bowl again. In other news, Bills did finally hire their head coach, and it's Joe Brady out of all people. I mean, what are the Bills thinking? Yeah, I know he's offense coordinator, but still, what the hell are we thinking? It just shows how joke of franchise we are. Yeah, I knew it was. Eventually it was time to move on to McDermott, but what? Really, find a good replacement to get to be a Super Bowl contender. You pick Joe Brady your next head coach. You got to do better than that, Buffalo. Seriously, Brandon Beane's a joke of a GM, and you got Terry Pagula, who's just such a terrible owner. We've seen how bad he was to the Sabres, but the Sabres are actually in a playoff spot for in the Stanley Cup playoff position right now, so they're actually doing well. But still, it just kind of shows it. Thank you for tuning in there. How you doing, Kingston? So yeah. I don't know what to think of this hire. Of course, his introductory press conference is tomorrow. So if any Bills fans want to see that tomorrow at noon, I'll be watching for sure, no doubt. It just shows it's gotten worse since that playoff loss almost 2 weeks ago. I just don't know what to think of this one. Oh, the Detroit Lions. Yeah, rough year for the Lions. But I think they'll be back next season. I think they'll be back. But I think Dan Campbell will be on the hot seat, I think. He definitely will be on the hot seat, I think, going into the season. There's no doubt in my mind. It's just, I feel for you guys, because I feel for the Lions, Because, it's like the Bills, too. Like, another suffering franchise, too. I think they'll be back, though, for sure. There's no doubt I see the Lions back in a playoff position. That's what they got to do. They got to at least make the playoffs or maybe make the Super Bowl if you want to keep Dan Campbell's job. You're the Lions. Because, man, if Dan Campbell wasn't under contract, I would love to have the Bills get him as next head coach. I don't know, just because the energy he brings. Just the winning culture he brought for a while. It got him to be a contender. There's just so many good teams. I feel like so many good hires it could have been, but they choose Joe Brady. I feel like if I'm McDermott, I'd be pissed off right now. I'm telling you, if I was Sean McDermott, I'd be mad. It just shows Brandon Beane is just. It was planned the whole long. They promoted both Joe Brady and Brandon Beane. I just don't know what to think of this one. Tom Brady is golden. Yes, Brady's the GOAT for sure. This comes from a Bills fan. Can't take it away. I can't take anything away how great he was. I mean, and he's doing well now as a commentator now. For like NFL and Fox. Still keeping busy. That's all like. So yeah, now he's with the GOAT of announcing now. So yeah. Hoping the Bills can just do better than this. So I'm just hoping they get back to be a Super Bowl team. But it's I don't know if we're gonna get back to that point again like we were with McDermott. I just don't know if it'll be that team anymore. I just don't know if we'll be that team anymore. It sucks. It definitely sucks right now. But you never know. I'd say the Super Bowl window will never close under Josh Allen, no doubt. If you have Josh Allen as a quarterback, but it's gonna be a lot difficult now. So yeah, those are your takes from this week. Now let's make our picks for this week's college basketball games before we get into the Royal Rumble. Let's do that right now. Another busy college basketball Saturday on January 31st. It's going to be a really good slate. It starts at noon with the Duke Blue Devils going into Blacksburg to take on the Virginia Tech Hokies. So Duke's number 4. I mean, they had a huge win over Louisville. Statement win, winning by 31 points. So, I'm a Duke fan, but I've noticed in recent years, I've noticed like throughout the years, Duke has struggled playing at Virginia Tech. They have struggled, especially as a top 5 team. But I'm going to take them. I just feel like Virginia Tech's a great team, but I just feel like Duke's going to win, but it's going to be a lot closer than the expert think. It's going to be a lot closer, this one. So I got Duke. But but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia Tech wins this one just because, I don't know, Duke's had trouble in there. But I'll still pick Duke just to play it safe. And it sounds a little biased, but yeah. That's all taking that one. Next, we got the 2 o'clock game. It is the Big Ten matchup here. Ohio State at Wisconsin. This could be a good matchup. They're both 14-6. They're both 6 wins in conference play. It's in Wisconsin, but I'm going to take the Buckeyes this one. I'm going to take Ohio State in this one. So I like Ohio State in this matchup here. Next, 4:30 on ESPN. This is where College Game will be at this week. It'll be at Kansas, Lawrence, Kansas. The Jayhawks will be hosting College Game this week as they take on BYU. Great matchup. BYU almost had a comeback win over Arizona Monday night. They almost handed Arizona their first loss, but fell short of it. Meanwhile, the Jayhawks are playing good still, turning it around after a rough start to non-conference play. So now they're this one. So who do I take in this one? I'm going to take BYU. I think it's, yeah, I feel you. It's going to the Super Bowl. I feel you. But I'm going to take BYU to beat Kansas. I mean, I just feel like because they were so close to beating Arizona, I feel like they're going to go into Kansas and winning. They've had some ways to find a way to beat the Jayhawks, so that's what I like in this one. I like BYU in this one. 6:30 on USA Network. George Mason at St. Bonaventure. Yes, my Bonnies. Yes, I'll be heading to the game Saturday at the Raleigh Center. It'll be 6:30 on the USA Network. So I'm going to take Bonnies in the upset in this one, but George Mason, they've had a great season. 18-2 and 2 overall, 6-1 in conference play. So yeah, it's a mismatch, but don't underestimate the Bonnies, especially in the Raleigh Center. So I got St. Bonaventure in this one. 8:30 on ESPN. It is an SEC matchup. Auburn at Tennessee. So I'm going to roll with Tennessee again, just like last week. I'm going to take the Vols in this one. So yeah. Auburn's having a little bit down year, but still, I think Bruce Pearl's son's doing a good job as a new head coach, Auburn. I think he's doing a good job. So I got Tennessee in this one. And to wrap up, an after dark game, a 10:30 game on ESPN. It is St. Mary's at number 6 Gonzaga. I always love this matchup because it's good rivalry for mid-major schools. But I'm going to take the Zags this one. I'm going to take Gonzaga in this one. It's not going to be even close. St. Mary's is good, but this is at Gonzaga. So I'm going to take Gonzaga in this one. At home, especially in the kennel. Yeah, I got them in this one. Now let's preview a very special event for WWE this weekend. It is the Royal Rumble. The road to WrestleMania starts this weekend. It'll be 2 o'clock on the ESPN app. The reason why it's a 2 o'clock start is because it's out in Saudi Arabia. It's overseas. First time ever it's going overseas this year. So it'll be exciting how that one will go. It's one of my favorite events other than WrestleMania and SummerSlam. It's just because it's unpredictable. But it's also the start of the road to WrestleMania. So it's first time ever the ESPN app will stream one of the big events. I mean, they already streamed Survivor Series. They already had that. So let's start with AJ Styles versus Gunther. This is a career-threatening match. So if AJ Styles lose, he must retire from aggression. Gunther's already retired 2 superstars already. So, yeah. I mean, he already retired Goldberg over the summer, and then he retired. He just ended John Cena's career in John Cena's final match. I'm gonna take AJ Styles this one, even though everyone's saying it's going to be Gunther, but I feel like I gotta go with AJ Styles. I don't see his career ending at the Rumble. You know that's where he started his WWE career, but I just don't see it ending. I feel like it should end at WrestleMania, in my opinion. So I'm gonna take AJ Styles in this one. Next, you got the undisputed WWE Championship match. Drew McIntyre defends his title against Sami Zayn. I mean, why Sam? I can't believe Sami Zayn's the one competing in this match. It should have been Randy Orton, but it's not going to be in close. Drew McIntyre retains his title and beats Sami Zayn. It's not going to be in close. Drew McIntyre will win this one and retain the undisputed WWE title. The Women's Royal Rumble match. There could be a lot of surprises in this one, but who do I take in this one? I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley. I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley in this match. Just because I feel like she's going to be the first woman to win the second woman to win multiple Royal Rumbles. Because we've already seen the only one WWE women's superstar that's won 2 Royal Rumbles, 2 women's Royal Rumbles. That was Charlotte Flair. I think Rhea Ripley's going to repeat that cycle. So I got to go Rhea Ripley in this one. I just feel like she wants her title back. She's going to get it. She's going to main event WrestleMania. And to finally finish it up, the men's Royal Rumble match. There's so many competitors won, but I'm going to go with Randy Orton in this one. That's how I'm going to go. I think Randy Orton is going to get back to title hunt. So I got to go with the Viper in this one. So thank you all for tuning in this week's show. We will see you all next week, same time, same place, 8:30. I'll tell you the results of the Royal Rumble.